This is MaxPreps Friday Night Live, powered by American Family Insurance.
All right, it's time to take a live look outside, brought to you by Play on Sports Network. We're going to check in with Del Oro versus Roseville right now, check in on that game and see exactly what's going on. Well, we know right now it's in the first quarter, and Del Oro is up 7.
No doubt Roseville comes in at 1-5, Del Oro 2-4. I wouldn't exactly say these are two powerhouses, but it looks like we're in store for a good game, at least if these early returns are any indication. Steve?
Well, the thing with Del Oro is they were a very good football team last year, but they were a very senior-laden team. So I think this may not be shocking to see them down a little bit, but another very solid program in the Sac Joaquin section in Northern California. When you kind of see their record, it's a little misleading because you got to realize they've lost to the likes of Oaks Christian and Westlake, two very, very good Southern California teams. And then they have a 1-point loss to Grant, a Sacramento team who's not the same Grant team that they were probably 4 or 5 years ago, but still a solid program with Mike Alberghini at the helm. So, not the record that you would necessarily expect from a Del Oro team, but their losses have been to very good football programs. And they may be starting to build a little momentum with back-to-back wins. So, I expect them to beat Roseville tonight, and then Granite Bay next week will be a much more challenging game, and then they have Nevada Union. So, a difficult schedule, but they may be starting to build on something here if they can come away with a victory tonight.
Roseville in the orange and black, I'd like to play them on Halloween.
You're so cheesy.
That fits, right? But I tell you, Steve, you talked about how the early season record may not be indicative of how talented this team may be. And this is really the time of year that you want to make sure you peak at the right time. So often, as long as you can sneak into the playoffs, as long as you're hot when those playoffs start, you can make a run, can't you?
That's right. And they played Oaks Christian to open their season. They probably will not see a team as talented as Oaks Christian the rest of the way. So, that's a team that you see early on, and, that helps you build for the rest of the season. People didn't really give this team much of a chance last year in the CIF Bowl game, but they put up a very respectable performance against San Diego Power Helix. So, again, a good program, a little bit of a down year, played a very tough schedule early on. I'm not willing to count out Del Oro. I still think they'll give Granite Bay, they'll give Nevada Union, they'll give Rockland good games. And, hey, this is high school football. Anything can happen when we're talking about 16 and 17-year-olds on a Friday night. Sometimes kids don't show up. Sometimes kids have amazing nights. Sometimes kids throw footballs backwards over their head and end up with touchdowns. So who knows?
Just like they drew it up. We do want to let you know that this game is being quick scored as well. We want to thank Stephen Smith, who is quick scoring the game on behalf of Del Oro High School. So we appreciate you doing that. And the team that has the most quick score views on a particular Friday night wins a cash prize from MaxPreps.com. So if you want to win some cold hard cash for your school, you'll click onto the quick score on MaxPreps.com on your iPhone, on your Android phone. What other kind of phone am I missing?
I think you got it all.
Got it
Blackberry?
all.
Did you mention Blackberry?
Blackberry.
Okay.
Regardless, you'll want to check that out. Win money for your school and also follow the progress of the game.
Right. And Steve, just stay there. We're going to check in with you in just a couple seconds. Keep icing those muscles. But right now we're going to talk about, since early this summer, MaxPreps.com, they've been featuring some beautiful stadiums. And when I'm talking about, like, beautiful, $60 million worth of features and everything. I mean, amazing. A sight not to be missed.
It's crazy what is happening to the high school football world as far as the stadiums that they play in. They're no longer these 100-yard field with wooden bleachers, right?
No.
I mean, these are huge, and we want to let you know that you can go look at Todd Shirtleff's photos. He went out to Washington High School in San Francisco, posted some photos for us on MaxPreps.com of their new football stadium. Not only is it a beautiful stadium, but look off in the background there. The Golden Gate Bridge is in the background of this stadium. Is there a more scenic setting for any high school football team in the country? I think you'd be hard-pressed to find that, but that is one good-looking stadium.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind looking at that.
No, if you had to. And they use the stadium not only for football, but this is where the students eat lunch. So they go to the football stadium and the football field to eat lunch. You might as well take advantage of it if you got it, right?
I mean, I would do that. Why not, right? And the weather, can you Can you beat it?
And if Coach is out there, he should make you run some wind sprints while you're having lunch, right?
I don't know about that, but we've got a full slideshow of this campus. You can see everything on MaxPreps.com, along with much more info on all the other campuses, and of course their stadiums, because we've got everything. That $60 million stadium in Texas, at Allen High, to Bishop Gorman's College, like campus in Vegas and Nevada. So we've got a lot there.
No doubt. And we don't give Mitch Stevens enough credit and run on this show. Mitch fills so much content on the site. Mitch writes articles all over the site, so we want to make sure that you check him out, because he provides a lot of the information on a lot of these high school football stadiums. So Mitch, thank you. You're a good man.
Cheap little plug for
Right.
for Mitch there. Hey Steve, now that you've iced your muscles a little bit, you've got any more updates for us? What's going on?
So just a couple games that have gone final. Number one, Manatee, which led only 14-7 late in the third quarter, ended up winning 42-14. So we mentioned the Glenbard West game. York was hanging close with them, and we said, a powerful offense can rattle off some points in a hurry, and Manatee did just that. So kind of the score that you were expecting from a Manatee number one team in the country against a very good Cypress Bay team. Hand had 26 unentered points in the second half to defeat Xavier in what was billed as the game of the century in the state of Connecticut. The two top teams, two defending state champions, and two teams with long winning streaks, so a very big win there for Hand. And De La Salle is up early in the state of California, and Hoover down in Alabama hung on to beat Hillcrest. Hillcrest gave them quite a game, 14-7 at half, a lot closer than people thought, but the Bucks hang on and came away with the victory. So aside from number 6 Burns losing to Gaffney, no major upsets so far tonight.
All right, Stephen, you just spoke a little bit about Glenbard West right now versus York. We actually are going to take a live look in right now, brought to you by Play on Sports Network. Pretty
much
what can
decided.
I say? Yeah, very much decided. In the fourth quarter, obviously Glenbard up 41-7. Was this expected?
Yeah, I mean, Chad Hetland had his team ready to go coming into this one. You want to make sure you don't overlook a team just because of their record, and the Hilltoppers certainly did not do that. This game taking place in Elmhurst, Illinois, home of the York Dukes, and Glenbard known to score and score very, very quickly. Last week, they led 36-0 at the half. This week, up 41-7. Looks like this one's in hand, Steve.
Yeah, and I think what it also suggests is Coach Nye in his first year at York has some way to go to really build the program. He came over from Brother Rice, which is on the south side of Chicago, very good private school program in the Windy City, but now he kind of taking on a new challenge, and as we talked about earlier, a York team that has had success in recent years. This is not a program that has fallen on too difficult of a time, but they're not probably at the level that they're looking to be, so they brought in Coach Nye, who's a great coach, but oftentimes there's a little bit of a learning curve and there are some growing pains, and this is a win that you got to think that York will build on. Glenbard West is a very, very good football program. They will be in it till the end when it comes to the state playoffs in Illinois. So I look for York to rebound, and I expect that program to be on the rise next year and years beyond.
No doubt, we haven't seen the stats from this game to this point yet, but I can tell you last week Glenbard won. I mentioned it was 36-0 at the half, and I want to drop a quick statistic on everyone that was very unique in that their quarterback only threw 5 passes in the game. His number's 3 of 5 for 100 yards and a touchdown, so you don't see only 5 passes in a game very often, but with your Glenbard West, you're winning like you're winning. You don't have to don't have to pass very often when you got a guy like Scott Andrews. He's their star running back. He had 121 yards rushing just a week ago on just 7 carries and 3 touchdowns. So you get the ball 7 times, you score 3 touchdowns. Not a bad week, and not a bad week again for Glenbard West tonight.
We're going to check in with Steve Spiewak. You have some updates for us on that game. Do you know what's going on?
I don't know about that game, but a couple miles north in Southern California, Mater Dei has now taken a 7-0 lead on Santa Margarita. Leland Gordon talked earlier to us about how no one was going to be out-coached in this game, and the players were going to have to decide the difference, and so far it looks like Mater Dei taking an early advantage against a very good Santa Margarita team. Definitely a game to watch. It's only 7-0 and it's still early, but biggest game in Southern California tonight, arguably, and one that fans around the country are probably interested in.
All right, Steve, and thanks to our wonderful producer, Marone. He keeps us updated also with what's going on. Without him, I don't know what we would do. We do have right now live pictures from Otay Ranch versus Olympian, brought to you by Play on Sports Network. Right now in the second quarter, Olympian is up 21, Otay Ranch 0.
Look at that. Olympian, I think, surprising a lot of people with this victory, or this, I'm jumping the gun a little bit there, apparently.
Just a little, my
with
friend.
This score so far, Olympian, the Eagles, looking mighty good. Steve, this has to surprise you a little bit, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, we saw two teams, I think, record-wise and rankings-wise, that were probably pretty evenly matched entering the game. But a 21-0 lead in the second quarter early on is pretty impressive for Olympian. So you got to think, barring any major momentum swing, it's still early, but Olympian seems to be in good shape here.
They have a dynamic duo, that being Otay Ranch, that has yet to get into the end zone tonight. But just a week ago, their quarterback, Kyle Hawkins, had 351 yards and 5 touchdown passes, and 187 of those yards went to his other half of the dynamic duo. I don't know which one's Batman, which one's Robin, but Chris Martin had 187 yards receiving. So those two need to get it going here if they want to stage any sort of comeback against Olympian High.
And we can see the excitement there in the stands. The fans really gearing up for who knows what could happen in this game.
It's still early. It's the second quarter. 21-0 doesn't look very good, but we've talked about it early in the show. You get a quick score here. Exactly.
And speaking of you never know, let's check in last time with Steve Spiewak. See if you have any other updates for us.
Big update from the state of Texas. My buddy Christopher Like at Texas HS Football let me know that North Shore has taken a 31-24 lead over Port Arthur Memorial. Big Houston area game. There's only 30 seconds left, so barring some, over-the-shoulder type of miracle play,
there you go.
It looks like North Shore is going to hold on. Two very good teams. North Shore, the favorite on paper, but Port Arthur Memorial, a very, very good program. They feature a freshman running back, Cameron Martin, also the alma mater of Jamal Charles. So very good program there. That's a big one in the Houston area and in the state of Texas as a whole.
All right, MaxPreps.com national football editor Steve Spiewak. Before I let you go, though, I just have to ask you, Steve, how did you do in your marathon time-wise?
I did well. I set a personal best. I ran it in 3 hours, 53 minutes, and 52 seconds.
Okay, congratulations, Bragger. We'll talk about it more next week. On behalf of Steve, on behalf of my friend Jason Albert and myself, Joanna Gomez, thank you very much for watching MaxPreps Friday Night Live, your weekly dose of high school football, right here every Friday. You guys know what it is. We will see you next Friday.
We'll do it again.
We'll do it again. Have a nice weekend. Be safe.
This is MaxPreps Friday Night Live, powered by American Family Insurance.